first video is going to be around equipment to start felting. Now, as I've said before in my introduction, you do not have to spend a fortune by any means. So my first kit that I bought was off eBay. I'm going to link it down in the description for you, and you get everything you need. Now, the wool that you get clearly isn't going to be, you know, a really great quality wool. It's more like an acrylic, but you get so many packets with that set of different colours, so you can just start and try something. So I first started with little pumpkins, and that was more than enough to do a small pumpkin. So I really recommend that kit. So that probably cost about 11, I want to say about 11, 12 pounds, but that's not bad to start you on a hobby when you have everything that you need to get going, and then you can start to look into adding other bits and pieces. So with that kit, and generally what you'll need to start felting anyway, is I've shown you the colours. So you get lots of little packets of wool to do, you know, you can start anything with those colours. Then you get your pad. So this is really important, and I'm still working on this one as well. So I am going to do a video later down the line where we can, you know, tart this up a little bit and cover that with felting and make that look absolutely fantastic. But I've kept it like this so I can do that video. But this is great. So this is essentially when you're working on a piece, you're not stabbing into your table or stabbing into your leg or wherever you're resting your piece. So that's the first thing that you'll get. Now, needles, people get a bit overwhelmed by the needles, but you don't need to worry about the needles. So I think it was 2 of these wooden handles you get with the kit. Again, I'm still using these. I'm not using anything posh or flash. These are more than enough just to hold on to, so you can felt. So there are different types of needles. I'll do a different video for that. So this one here, basically your basic ones are triangular needles. Now with these, the higher the gauge, the higher the number, the finer the needle. So your lower gauges are going to be for coarse work. Now what I'd say is when you begin, as long as you have, I mark mine as well, so I always know, because I just get mixed up with what's going on. So I usually have for every project a coarse needle, so I think that's a 38. I'm pretty sure that's a 38. Yes, that's a 38. And then I write detail on there. So detail and smoothing is going to be a finer needle. I want to say this is, I did buy this needle separately. That one is a 40, so higher number, finer needle. Okay, so I've got my coarse and I've got my finer. So 2 needles to start with is more than enough to do any project. You really don't need to get flash on it at all. I also got this in my initial set, which I don't use very often because as I said on my intro, my niche is small characters. So like I've not finished yet, so don't judge, but like a little Yoshi. So I tend to use my actual detail throughout. It just works for me that way. I use my coarse more when I do a pumpkin, but we'll do a pumpkin video together. But you can get your multi-tools. So if you're making, I don't know if you see that, if you're making bigger projects, so say a pumpkin and you can do a large pumpkin, essentially your multi-tool is a couple of coarse needles and it's just going to felt that down a lot quicker. I like the process, you see. So even if I do, probably the largest pumpkin I've done is probably about so big, it's not huge, I will still use just one on a coarse needle because I like the process. I find that really relaxing. But if you're looking to get something done quickly, a multi-tool's great. And you can also get multi-tool pens. Now I did buy that. I didn't buy the All Singing All Dancing Clover one that people do rave about. It's supposed to be amazing, but this was just a cheapy one on eBay because I just think, you know, a multi-tool's a multi-tool. I'll do reviews down the line. Maybe it's not a multi-tool's a multi-tool tool, but at this moment in time that's how I feel. So that's essentially like in a pen form, and you can have, there's 3 there, and you can go up from 3 and have more. So that's just, you can hold it like a pen, in you go. But basically, I think if you've got a mat, your little pieces of wool, a coarse, even just a coarse, then you're good to go. Another thing you will get is finger protectors. This comes with the kit. They're kind of different sizes, and it's that finger and this finger, if you're right-handed, that you are going to stab every 2 minutes when you start. I don't use these, and I've never used these. I think I tried once, but just for me, you can't feel what's going on with your wool. It's you know, the swings and roundabouts, because I do YouTube lives and things, and I do quite often catch my finger and should not bleed my DNA out on the piece that I'm making. So they're useful when you're starting. It just depends how you feel about it, because obviously that's going to reduce that sensitivity and you can't quite feel what you're doing. But anyway, you'll get those if you buy a little starter kit. And the most important thing is some core wool. I'm going to do a separate video on wools because it's not complicated, because I'm going to make it not complicated. It's actually very simple once you know how. Now, most felters would probably tell you to buy, you know, a nice quality core wool from, you know, a website online or whatever. I very quickly found that the acrylic toy filling is equally as good. So I buy literally huge bags of toy filling, just stick it into eBay, stick it into Amazon. You can get kind of 5 kilos for 10 odd pounds, or you can just get a kilo for a couple of pounds. It's really cheap and it works. Every piece that I've done, I've used this. I haven't used the more expensive core wool. You don't need to. This is fantastic. The only thing that you will find is I had a recycled fill-in, which was just so easy to felt, and I loved it. However, the price really went up, so I bought some cheaper stuff, which is here on eBay, and it can be trickier to felt with your coarser needle. So because I like using my fine anyway, my details, to do everything, it doesn't matter for me. But if you're doing very large pieces, you might want to play about and just buy small amounts of this stuff and just see which one's the best. But another benefit to this is you do get the little curls in there as well. So these are really handy. Now I pick these out as I go along, and then I'll show you how to another time. You can just dye these really cheaply, really quickly, just using a bit of food colouring. You can dye those and then add those to your projects for hair, or like I put a lot of curls on pumpkins and things that we'll do on a pumpkin video. So I think that is your basic setup, and with that you're good to go. So I really do recommend a kit. I will link the one that I bought in the description. I'm not promoting that kit in any way, as in financially. It's just that that's what I bought, and it's been absolutely brilliant. And even now, with my small projects, I have so much wool that's been gifted to me, absolutely tons of it, but I still go back to these because there's so many just little colours, and I can just do little pieces like, you know, the little mouth and things. So it's really good. So remember, follow me on TikTok. I will do the next video around wools and different types of wools, and so you know what you're buying when you do delve into that world of treating yourself to a little bit of wool, because it is a little bit addictive. See you later.